Hello, I'm here to do a movie review on the movie Prometheus, Ridley Scott's film that came out this past weekend. Where do I begin? This is all spoilers, talking about the movie, all spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you don't want any spoilers, this is not the video for you. Where do I begin? It's probably one of the worst, overhyped, over-anticipated movie ever produced. There's just no way to explain it. I mean, where do I begin? Might as well start from the beginning. The movie begins with a scene you've seen from the trailers where you see some being on some cliff above some large body of water, and he drinks, you see these things, he begins to decay, and that's basically how the movie begins. But the part you don't see in the trailer, that he takes a sip of this liquid that causes his body to decay, and he falls over into the waterfall, and his body dissolves, and you can see his body breaking down into like the strands of the helix of the DNA molecule, and then it turns to red corpuscles and appears, and I guess that's how we got our beginning here. Okay, life sprang from the sea, and life sprang from this suicidal alien, I guess. You know, he decided, for whatever reason, to kill himself and to bring life to this planet. I guess that's the premise of that scene, I guess. That's the reason for that scene. Okay, so like you see in the trailers, some time passes and these archaeologists find these caved pictures in different cultures or scrollings on the wall, the mines all across the world over a couple of 100 years from civilizations that had no contact. So it's a map to go find our makers. Okay, so of course that's what they do. It's financed by the Whaling Corporation, and they're off to the heavens to meet our maker. Okay, they come to the planet, land on the planet, and they find some tomb, some kind of large tomb, kind of like the pyramids, but you know, that same kind of concept. It's a tomb, and within the tomb there's an alien ship you learn later on in the movie. So, so they go there, and I'm just gonna get to really the stupid and ridiculous things about this movie. The movie, during the movie, the captain, played by Idris Elba, he says, they come to the conclusion, you know what? This place is an installation for the storage and I guess distributions of weapons of mass destruction. And this is what it is. That's why it's out here in the middle of nowhere. And because everybody, all the aliens, when they go to the temple, all the aliens, they find them dead. They do some carbon dating, find they've been dead for over 2,000 years. So the theory is that this is some kind of storage and distribution place for weapons of mass destruction, and something went wrong and it got away from them, and they killed them. It ended up killing them all, except for one, okay, which was in stasis. That's the theory now of this place. So, a secret military installation for the storage and distribution of weapons of mass destruction. No one's supposed to know about it, huh? Except for the primitive humans back on Earth with the cave drawings showing, you know, the exact location of this storage and distribution place for weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so I wonder how the humans knew about it in the cave drawings. You know what? I have a theory. One of the aliens must have told them and explained it to them. And it probably went something like this. Going back 2,000 years ago, when man was still cave dwelling and drawing carvings on the wall and stuff, the alien said, hey, cave dweller dudes, come on over here. Gotta tell you something, I'm gonna show you something. Hey look, there's a map right here, okay? This map is a location of a facility for the storage and distribution of weapons of mass destruction. They're planning to use it against you. So, I'm going to share you where it's at. So in about maybe 700 or 800 years from now, when you develop the ability for interplanetary space travel, and you can venture off to other solar systems, you can go there or wipe it out before they can use it on you. I know that it's going to be a little, so I know it's a little difficult now because you've just now discovered fire and you're working on developing the wheel. But you got to speed up your technology now so you can get there and take out this installation of mass destruction. Don't worry, I'm going to hang out on this planet for a couple more 100 years, traveling the globe, spreading the word to the other primitive cultures on this planet so they too can somehow develop interplanetary space travel and go there and stop them. So I'm going to be off now. Oh, by the way, I know you're still working on the wheel. I think that if you round off the corners a little bit, it'll be much better. Okay, humans? All right, see you in about about 500 or 600, 700 years. I'm off. Really? So some aliens visited Earth and the humans worshiped them, and the aliens showed them a place up in the heavens where there's a storage facility for the distribution of weapons of mass destruction that's going to be used against them. What a brilliant plot. Didn't think about that. Didn't see that coming, Ridley. There's another thing in the movie. It's just, this is supposed to be some visionary movie by Ridley Scott. Like, hey, look, I gotta think of a scene. I want this movie to be great. I want it to be memorable, like my first sci-fi movie, Aliens. I want it to be thought-provoking. I need a scene for that. So in the movie, when they first travel to the temple, two guys, it's always somebody always gets separated from the main body. They're out there exploring this tomb / spaceship, and they see, they're exploring, and there's a sandstorm coming, and they have to get back to the ship immediately. Of course, two people get left behind because they get lost. So to make it back to the ship, except for these two, they're trapped in this tomb overnight, so they have to do the best they can. And of course, what happens? They stumble upon this life form, a little snake-like thing. You see it in the trailers. It pops up, a little snake type of thing, right? Okay. The guy talks to it like it's some pet dog or cat. Hey, little alien thing. Really? You're a scientist? Whatever have you. But let's cut to the chase. So of course, the little alien thing is not so friendly. It attacks to the, you see it cut it off, and it ends up on the guy's arm. Then the second dude who's with him tries to cut it off, and it sprays this, this alien blood like the acid stuff in the original Alien movie. Burning through the guy's face mask. He runs off, and the other guy, that little snake thing, goes up his arm and into his mouth and ends up killing him. Okay, and of course the next day after the sandstorm subsides, they go out to the temple. They find one guy that had the snake thing in his mouth, but not the other guy. He's still missing. So the visionary Ridley Scott, I need a great scene. So what do? How bad can this movie be? But it is. So what they decide to do? I need a scene. So what happens? The guy who was sprayed in the face with this alien acid blood shows up at the ship. He's outside the ship. Hey, let's go. Welcome him back. Hey, he's back. Hey. So what was the idea that really came up to make this visionary film have a visionary scene for one of his characters? I know. They greet the guy, and guess what? I'll have that guy show up at the ship after he's been exposed to some kind of chemical or some kind of virus or some kind of alien parasite, and I have this guy become a homicidal zombie bent on killing other humans. That's never been done before. They go greet the guy, rah, rah, with superhuman strength, mind you. You can't have a zombie without superhuman strength. So this guy shows up at the ship, rah, and they say hi to him. He begins to bash their skulls in and killing him, throw him across the ship with superhuman strength. Rah. Man, a mindless homicidal zombie. That was brilliant. Never been done before. Really? Come on, really? A homicidal zombie with superhuman strength bent on destroying other humans because the human host was exposed to some kind of virus or chemical or alien parasite? That's never been done before? Brilliant visionary work right there, Ridley. This is really stupid. I just can't get over. I want the 2 hours and 17 minutes of my life back. What's the other thing? The other thing is this. Another scene, it just boggles the mind. It's just how stupid this film is. I'm just jumping all over the place here, but there's a scene in the movie, of course, it's near the end, you know, because remember the whole premise of the movie was to go and meet our makers, these engineers, and you've known this from all the trailers. So they go to the ship, Michael Fassbender plays this android, the synthetic human, David, and he was studying the language to figure out how to, you know, decipher the writings on the wall and the language so he could be able to communicate with these things in case they come across one. Of course, inside the temple there's a ship, and inside the ship, you know, they, like I said, they had, when they went earlier, they had carbon dated some of the other skeletal remains of the aliens. I figured it was like 2,000 years ago. The thing's about 2,000 years old. So they find this alien that's been in stasis for at least 2,000 years. And the theory is that they were about to take off and they were going to go to Earth loaded with these weapons of mass destruction to destroy all humanity from this secret installation that nobody knew about except for the cave dwellers back on Earth, who hopefully would develop interplanetary space travel and time to come there and stop them in the future, really. But anyway, so they find the alien, he's in stasis for at least 2,000 years, and they decide to revive him. So they revive him, you know, he looks around, big, huge, monster looking thing with big old eyes, big old dark eyes, you know, he comes up, and you know what? I'm just trying to think. Well, what would be another great visionary scene for this great movie Ridley would think about? What should we have this alien do? He's been in stasis for at least 2,000 years. Something went terribly wrong with their plan to go back to Earth. So when he wakes up, he's confronted, or he sees a bunch of human beings before him asking him questions. What should he do? Because I assume 2,000 years ago, the notes that they had about the humans were that they were living in caves and straw huts and still developing the wheel the last time he knew. So here they are before him with spacesuits and stuff trying to communicate. What should he do? I know. We'll just have him become a homicidal alien bent on destroying all humans. He grabs the alien and rips his head off and proceeds to kill all the other humans that are holding around. Really? After 2,000 years, the alien wakes up, is confronted by human beings asking him questions, and the last memory he has about humans that they were living in grass huts and caves back on Earth. You would think after he wake up find out, how long have I been out? Well, I've been out for 2,000 years. What's the status of my crew? You think he would think, you know, where's the rest of my crew? No, I just think that. What's the status of the ship? Am I the last of my kind? And what's going on? Nah, let me just kill all the humans and then proceed with the mission. So he kills all the humans, except for Naomi Rapace. She gets away. Blocks her, but she was able to get away. So he starts the ship up and he begins to take flight. And she, in the scene, in the trailers, you see it. They're going to commit suicide to save the human race because they can't allow this ship to get back to Earth to release its weapons of mass destruction from this secret military installation that no one's supposed to know about, okay? Except for the primitive humans. And I guess the plan worked because the primitive humans were able to develop space travel to get there in time to stop the mission. Hey, that's must have been a plot all along. But anyway, so you see the famous scene where it crashes into the ship, and it, you know, they crash and whatever have you. And then the escape pod is jettisoned. I'm gonna just jump to the scene. There's an escape pod that's jettisoned with Charlie Theron's character, and she ends up getting killed, but the space pod is there. And so the ships collide, the alien ship comes down. So Naomi Rapace's character gets to the space pod. Now the alien ship crashed. You think that the alien, what would he do? Ship crashed, want to continue the mission. There are other ships, by the way. There are many other ships. So instead of, like, you know, going to another ship, you know what, I'm gonna